Hello, Dave Moore with PITC, and today we're going to be going over the testing procedure for a pressure vacuum breaker. The pressure vacuum breaker we're going to be testing today is an ARI VB501. The first thing we do when testing our pressure vacuum breaker is to flush our test cocks to make sure that we don't send any debris through our gauges. Once we've flushed our test cocks, we're going to take our high hose and connect it to test cock number 2. The first test we do on a pressure vacuum breaker is see when our air inlet will open. Our air inlet must open before 1 psi. We're going to first pressurize our gauge and bleed any air. Once we've pressurized and bled our gauge, we're going to isolate the device. Once we've isolated the device, we're going to slowly open the needle valve on our gauge to reduce the pressure on the high hose, and this will show us where our inlet opens. Our air inlet must open before a pressure of 1 psi. Our air inlet opened at 4.8 psi, well above 1 psi, so that's a pass. We're now going to move on to the second part of our test. We're going to close our test cocks. We're going to re-establish pressure in our device. We're going to connect our high hose to test cock number 1. And again, we're going to pressurize and bleed our gauge. During this test, we're testing our check valve 1 in forward pressure, or what the pressure differential is across check valve 1. We must maintain a pressure differential above 1 psi for 2 minutes. We're going to isolate our device, and we're going to open up test cock number 2. We're going to wait for the water to stop running. Once the water has stopped running and we've established a constant pressure, we'll watch that pressure for 2 minutes. Again, if it maintains above 1 psi for 2 minutes, it's a pass. Our device is holding at 2.6 psi, well above 1 psi, so this would be marked as a pass. We're then going to shut our test cocks. We're going to remove our hose from the device. We're going to open up test cock 1, and we're going to observe test cock 1 for 2 minutes to make sure that isolation valve 1 is holding. At this point, we're going to close up our device and we're going to return it to service.